Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I love makeup. And for today's video, I'm going to be doing the eyeshadow palette collection tag. Now this tag was created by Angelica Lyremar. I will leave her channel and her video linked in the description down below. And I will also leave down there Vinyl Beauty, aka Debbie's video. She is the one that I saw, but I also of course wanted to give credit to the original creators. So that's the tag I'm going to be doing today and showing you guys some of my eyeshadows. Some are older, some are brand new to my collection, haven't even used them yet. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, don't forget to click the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I make new videos every week post Sunday and it is free to subscribe. So when I saw this eyeshadow palette collection tag, the thing that struck me about it was that it was unlike any other tag I had done before. I have done other eyeshadow related tags. I'll leave a video up in the cards if you're interested in seeing that. But the prompt for this particular tag is that they're finding different things in your eyeshadow collection that represent blank. So each thing it's going to be like, okay, so this eyeshadow represents this in my collection. And some of them have to do with you and your personality. And I think that's so interesting to think about it as far as like showing your personality, because I really do think that's what a lot of makeup is showing your personality. And the ones I've done in the past have been like, what's your biggest one? What's your smallest one? What's your most colorful? Very objective. So I like the fact that this tag was subjective and that it gave me a chance to feel creative about like, oh, what is actually a fun one to me? What actually does make me think of my personality, and kind of see what other people think as well about themselves and, you know, all the other people that are doing this tag. So there are 8 palettes I'm going to be showing you guys today that all represent blank. Again, this list was come up with by Angelica, so make sure you check out her video below as well. So the first eyeshadow is supposed to be one that represents me in terms of color story. And I will be honest, I did not have to think long at all about this. I've raved about this palette on my channel multiple times, so you probably won't be surprised if you've been here for a while. If you're new, hi, I love this palette, you should check it out. This is from Lunar Beauty. It is the Moon Spell palette. Here it is, but this one is in terms of color story. So I would say my absolute favorite colors of eyeshadow to wear are greens and purples. And that's basically what this palette is, right? So there are some like brown, transition-y, and shimmer shades to help you with blending those out, but for the most part we've got like green and turquoisey shades down here, and the top is all purpley shades. So when I thought, okay, if this is my favorite and I'm supposed to pick a color story that represents me, this is it. I also think it represents me because I am kind of like plain Jane sometimes, so there are neutrals in here, but I also like to get a little like daring, dark, and bold sometimes. So there's other colors in here that allow you to tiptoe into that with still being able to feel comfortable in that little neutral middle section if you need to. The next eyeshadow palette is one that represents me based on the packaging. So the first one was color story, this is packaging. You might be surprised about this. I don't know how well you guys know me, but I would definitely say this is what represents my personality, not necessarily my look, if that makes sense. So the packaging that represents me, like my personality, is definitely this one. This is the Serendipity collaboration with Alien Cosmetics. This one's pretty new to my collection. I'll show you the inside just in case you're interested in the palette. The color story is pretty grungy there. But this is about the packaging. So I really feel like this represents me because it is majority of gold, and I really do like sparkly, shiny things. Hi, I'm a flute player. Go figure. But as well, I really like kind of being bougie and high class, high maintenance. I don't know what to tell you. I like the finer things. Now, that being said, I like to save money and be cheap about it, but I like high quality things. So the gold made me think of that about my personality. And then just this person on here where it's like, I don't know, it's just very like my inner goth teenage My Chemical Romance self. Obviously, I don't necessarily present that way outwardly. Part of that has to do with the fact that I am a public school teacher, and so there are kind of, especially in America, I feel like standards of what you should look like or should do or whatever is socially acceptable. But when we're talking about my inner self and, like, you know, the alternative music I like, the video games I like to play, the sci-fi, the fantasy, the zombies, all of that kind of stuff, while it's still being like kind of a glam chick, right? Like she's got like this fierce wig and she's clearly got like a lash on her one eye. I don't know. This one just spoke to me in my soul. That's why I bought this, frankly, was for the packaging. The fact that the inside was amazing was a bonus, but I feel like that one represents my personality with the packaging. The next prompt was to find an eyeshadow palette in my collection that represented spring, and I just had to pick this one, you guys. This is the Nomad Tokyo palette. Nomad Cosmetics is an indie brand. Actually, everything I've shown you so far has been. It won't all be indie, I promise. But here it is. And I just think all of these pastel colors scream spring, both on the inside and the outside of the palette. Sorry, I didn't have it fully in frame for you there. So it's just got cute little bunnies and stars, bows, little candies, things like that, that all make me think of spring, ladybugs, hearts. And then on the inside, we have all the pastels and shimmeries. That just really screams spring to me. Pastels in general, I'm sure a lot of you feel that way. Or just minty looking colors. I don't know, these light, like it's still rainbow-ish, but it's not deep, dark, earthy pigmented tones. It's more lighter, and I love these duochromes in the bottom row here. They're amazing. It's the only palette I have from this brand, and truly that's a shame because it's lovely. It's wonderful. And the pastels actually show up on me. That's kind of a problem I've had in the past with how light complected I am, how light my skin tone is, how pale I am. This shows up, so that's great. Okay, fourth, we had a palette that represents happy. So something that just makes you think of what is happy. And I was kind of surprised because I was looking through and was like, no, not this one, not this one. And this one I found and was like, oh, I really am in a great mood every time I use this palette, and something about the packaging too. Now this you can't purchase anymore unless you get it like used on Poshmark. This is actually a little palette from Ulta Beauty. It is called the Bodega Bay eyeshadow palette. And this was one that they came out in summer, I think a year ago, maybe last summer. But something about just the watermelon and the leaves, the fruit, the blue background just gives me very much so like vacation vibes. I don't know if it's just because, again, I'm a teacher. Summer, I'm thinking relaxing, no stress, time off, that kind of stuff. I don't use the word vacation because I hate it when people say, oh, that's your vacation. FYI, at least in America, that summertime is not a vacation for us. We are not paid for those months. So it's almost like we have seasonal work. It's not, you know, vacation implies it's like paid vacation to me at least. So side note, sorry. Here is the palette that makes me happy though. And when you open it up, I think visually these look kind of like, frankly, kind of dusty and not as pigmented. But honestly, they are quite pigmented on the eyes. Like when you do swatches, it doesn't do it justice. And I have paired this palette a lot with, I have a metallic green eyeliner from I think Maybelline actually. And I really love this palette. It just makes me very happy every time I use it, and it's very vibrant. And there's only 6 pans in here, 3 mattes and 3 shimmers, but it makes me super happy. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, the next one is to find an eyeshadow palette in my collection that represents grungy. So dark, grungy, things like this. So this one is one that is brand new to my collection. I actually have not even gotten to play around with it yet, but this is from Lethal Cosmetics. And this one was one that I actually custom built. So Lethal Cosmetics does a lot of single shadows. They were having a sale and I could use like a code upon a sale type thing. So finally pulled the trigger. I've never tried the brand before, but I've heard both Vinyl Beauty as well as Teresa is Dead rave about Lethal Cosmetics. So I'm very excited to try it. But here's the color story I came up with. And I told you guys before, purples and greens especially, they are just what I love. And I don't know if it's because I think they complement my brown eye color well. I don't know what it is. I just love wearing eyeshadows of those shades. So I've got a little bit of, you know, some deeper blues here, and I've got one kind of like pink to purple-y like duochrome situation. I think these are gonna look a lot more intense on the eyes than in the pans because the glitters, again, I don't think on camera it's doing it justice. I think I'm gonna do a dedicated video to this one and swatch it out and really show you guys. But to me, this one with the dark greens, the really dark purples, grays, blues, that's probably the grungiest thing that I custom built in my collection, and I'm so happy to have it. Next up was a prompt to find a palette that is girly, or the girliest palette, which I have to say for a moment I was just like, I'm very much in the like gender fluidity thought life. So the fact that something's girly or manly type thing, I'm not a huge fan of those type of labels. I'm not even saying I know what you would call it instead that I would like better. I just went for what I thought she might be talking about, which might be like floral or pink or frilly or light, or I think that's kind of what she was going for. I picked the Sailor Moon X Colourpop palette for this prompt. Here is the cover. It's got this little neat, like when you move it, the mouth is either closed or open, which is so cool. On the front, I haven't used this one either. This is new to my collection as well. Just went on sale since it's been out for a while. There's the color story on the inside. So like I said, it is very pink, light. And second to last, we have a palette that is just fun. What is something that you're like, wow, I really want to play, let's have fun. And with that one, I have felt this way about this palette. This is from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It is the Mini Breaker. And here's what she looks like. Only 9 pans, but I really have just not stopped coming up with a multitude of creations with this one. I don't get bored of it. It's fun. I don't know, much like the Ulta Beauty one, that makes me happy. Just bright colors. That really usually means I'm just in a very uplifting, bright mood. I don't know. It's just fun to me. It's fun to play with all these shimmers. There's like a shimmery orange, which I don't have that many shimmery orange. This orange crush up here, that's super fun. The Slice also has kind of an orange undertone, and this Bite Me purple metallic, also so fun. And even if you don't want to go in like the darker purpley family, like even just doing like a monochromatic pink bubblegum look with this, so fun. All of it's fun. How many times can I say fun in this video? I don't know. Last but not least, guys, is the palette in my collection that represents inspiration. So I tried to find something that I was like, what's something that I really just do not create the same look twice. Like it always inspires me to do something different. And I found this one. It's actually the one that I am wearing on my eyes today. And you can go a lot of different directions with this palette. And this is drugstore, actually, you guys. I know a lot of the stuff that I had today was indie, almost all of it. I think that's just because, like, recently I've really been into indie makeup, into the quality. That doesn't mean I don't like high-end or drugstore at all. And this one is drugstore. This is from NYX, and this is the Ultimate Utopia palette. This retails for $35 and you get 40 shades in it. Here it is. You could go so many ways. I've done like really spring, like minty and lilac looks in this corner. I've done things that are a little more fall in like the copper, brown, orange, red tone, gold sector. I've done some like kind of grungy green things. I even dipped into this for Halloween and used like this purple, and I don't know if I used this orange. Actually, I think I mixed this purple with the NYX Swear By It for Halloween, but there's just a lot of ways you can go with it. So for this eye look that I'm wearing today, there's no shade names in this, but what I used was this kind of like army-ish, khaki-ish shade in the outer corner. Then I kind of mixed between these two. Sorry, gotta get my fingers on them. This kind of like orangey looking one, and then also this kind of like muted green one. I used those in the crease. Those all three are mattes. And then to do the lid, I used some, of course, glitter glue, glitter primer, whatever you want to call it. And I went in with this shade, which is kind of like a green to gold shifty color. Now, I would not call this, it is not a duochrome. It just has a mixture of both green and gold shimmers in it, which gives it that effect of kind of being like a mix of between the two, but it is a solid color. It doesn't shift. There aren't any duochromes in the drugstore palette. No surprise there, but that doesn't mean it's not gorgeous. It's not stunning. So yeah, those are the shades I used for this particular look, but you could go any direction with this, like I said. And there's a lot of warm tones and a lot of cool tones in it for the price. I mean, $35 for 40 shades, that's less than $1 a shade. Really, it's great. So this one inspires me a lot because there's just like, there's so many combinations you can do with it that I never get bored, and I always come up with something different that I'm like, ooh, I haven't tried this combination. Ooh, I haven't put that in this place before. Oh, what if I did this? And it just keeps going and going, and that's why I keep going back to this palette, because I'm not bored with it. I'm inspired. So guys, what are your palettes? I would love to hear down in the comments below, what are your answers to some of these prompts if you collect eyeshadow palettes or have a lot like me, or even if you just have one or two eyeshadow palettes that you really like. Did they fit under any of these categories? I would love to hear from you. If you do make this video, let me know. I'd love to see what you do, and of course, make sure you give Angelica credit. That's really all I have, guys, for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps to push it out into the YouTube algorithm more and get more people to view it. And click subscribe, it's free. I make new videos weekly, and I would absolutely love to have you back on the channel again in the future. Hi guys, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.